All right, everybody, here I am back. Back to my living room. As you can see, the lighting is a little different. I got too much light in the back, but hey, Angie, Kenny, thank you for joining us. Apologize, I had to relocate. Thank you guys for coming back. I had to relocate to my main computer with the direct connection to the internet because the Wi-Fi is not working. Spectrum, I'm not sure what's going on, but anyway, thank you guys for coming back. Appreciate it. Um, Today is July 10th, 2019 already. Hey, yeah, I'm back. I'm back. Yeah, this one will work because it's a direct connect to the internet. Unfortunately, the lighting is not as good, but I'm sure you guys can see me, and I'm sure you guys can hear me. So appreciate all of you guys jumping back on. And all right, we got Michael, JC, we got Dennis, Belinda, Michael Smith, Karen, Thomas, Dexter, Francine, Terry, Nathan, Shane, Patsy, of course, Sandy, my sister, my dad. I don't know if my dad is back on. I cannot see all the comments, unfortunately, because this cuts off. But hey, Rory. Okay, you guys can see me. That's good. Julie, Randy, Yokoyama, aloha. Thank you guys for jumping back on. As I was talking about Sherry Cummings, real quick, this article here, Lee Cataluna's article today, anger grows over disparity in what we're told and what we see. Basically, hey, Becky and Tino, what she's talking about is, and she's talking about Oahu, but you know what the mayor is telling her about all the good things that's going on Oahu is not what they're seeing. She talks about the rubbish that keeps piling up. And hey, Kayla and Raylene, aloha, Ray, Tino, Shailani, thank you very much. Talking about the continuous illegal dumping, which was supposed to not happen with their bulky item pickup. She talks about the homeless encampments growing and growing and growing, and yet being told by the city that they're doing a great job keeping the grass clear for park use. Hey, Alan and Vitos, thank you guys for coming back. Thank you guys for coming back. Yeah, if you guys get a chance, go to the Star Advertiser, read this editorial. It's amazing. He, in his 2019 State of the City speech, he talked about the number one problem facing all was climate change, not the homeless, not the rail project, not the shameful goings on with the Keloa trial. We all know about that. None of that. It's all about climate change. And yet, when you look at the maps and the predictions, Waikiki is gonna be underwater, but yet they continue to dump money into those parks. So she's frustrated, along with many other people there on Oahu. And I think I hear the same complaints here on Kauai as well. That what government is telling them is simply not what's happening. Hey, Ed, Bethany, John Baroni, Dorothy, aloha, you guys. Thank you. John, how's everything up in San Diego? We miss you guys on Kauai, man. We miss you guys on Kauai. Anyway, so if you get a chance, Lee Cataluna's article, as she does so well, go check it out. It's worth the 5 minutes that it'll take you to read it, and yet it's powerful stuff. Powerful stuff. Hey, Kevin. All right, so we got a couple of things I want to talk about today. I see 7/1/19 job, July 1st job. Yeah, no, I'm working at Timbers Resort. I think Ray is talking about. I've been offered a couple of contract positions with the county at a couple of departments. Unfortunately, the administration felt that they had to tag conditions on my employment. One of them being I cannot talk about the county on my Facebook Live. So was either continuing my Facebook Live and educating and informing the public of what's going on, or taking on a county contract job. I chose to keep my Facebook Live running, keep educating and informing the public, and that's where it stands. Thank you for asking. Mona, aloha. So yeah, I'm gonna stay working at Timbers Resort as a night auditor, and we'll see what happens. But I did want to continue this program, this show, because I felt it was important. I think that I understand why some people don't want me doing this. I understand totally, but obviously, it's not about the money, because I don't get paid for doing this. I do enjoy keeping the public apprised of what's going on. Hey, Alfred, Sherry, aloha. See, they like shut you down. Yeah, they do, but they won't. Mel, the journalist, your constitutional rights. Yeah, you know, it's complicated. I decided to take the high road. Napa, what's happening? Sounds like they want to shut you up. Robin, Danner, thank you for coming. Yeah, they do, but they're not. You know, I'm going to continue to do my Facebook Lives every week, and we'll keep you guys informed. And you know, some of the things going on in today's segment, I think, will upset some of you, as it did me. Hey, Ruth and Tiana, thank you guys. Working for a real Harley dealership, John. Yeah, maybe I'll get to San Diego one day, man. Go ride. Let's go ride. I want to ride the PCH, Pacific Coast Highway. Hey, Laurie, Christy, Jolene, thanks. For all of you that came back, thank you. I apologize. We keep getting this problem. I'm going to go to Spectrum tomorrow, and we're going to change out my router and my modem, and hopefully that'll solve the problem. But until we get this thing fixed, I'll continue to do it right here. We'll put up some black curtains in the back to block off the light. But I really appreciate those of you that came back on. Appreciate it. You know, we do this every Wednesday from 5:30 to 6:30. My YouTube channel. Just go up on youtube.com, search Mel Rapozo. You can see all of our videos that we put up is up there. So anyway, first item I want to talk about today just came out, and it's regarding the Hawaii Agribusiness Development Corporation, ADC. Hey, Lonnie and Daryl, aloha, you guys. Hey, nice seeing you today, Daryl. Thanks for the balls. I mentioned earlier, I went golfing today up at Hokuala. I haven't golfed. Thanks, Ray. I haven't golfed in a long time, and I haven't been to that golf course since it was Kauai Lagoons, decades ago, probably over 10 years ago. And it's awesome. It's a beautiful course. And then we ended up going to lunch at Hualani Restaurant up at Timbers. And just so that you know, and I apologize if you're hearing this for the second time, but for the entire month of July, in celebration of their 1-year anniversary, they're offering lunch from 11 to 3, everything on the menu, food and drinks, alcohol and non-alcohol, everything 50% off. Terry Workman was there today. I saw her with someone. She was there with her friend having lunch. And we went after golf, went up there and had some awesome food. We drank water. We didn't drink any booze, but it was 50% off, and it was delicious. And the view is spectacular. So I got to put that plug in. Hualani Restaurant up at Timbers, and half price until the end of July. 11 till 3 every day for lunch. Hey, honey, and BC, aloha. Lonnie and Aaron, why are they redoing Rice Street? Good question, and that's a Tiger grant. We talked about that a few times. Hey, Marlene, it's I was the one council member that didn't support that. I did not vote for the final vote on that. I didn't think it was worth the money. It's a $17 million project, $2 million of which will come from the county funds. I didn't believe that was wise. And as you see today, what you're seeing happening on Rice Street, get used to it, because that's what it's going to be. You're going to have 2 lanes. We now have 4. You're going to have 2 lanes with a turn lane in the middle. And you're going to have a lot of sidewalks. You're going to have a lot of pedestrian and bike paths. You're going to have a lot of amenities. You're going to have trees and decorations and all of that. But it's not going to do anything for the flow of traffic. That's my opinion. I hope I'm wrong. Hey, Carol, Letty, Kaleo, Clayton, and Hope, thank you guys for joining us. So what you guys are experiencing now with all that construction, get used to it, because it's going to be a 2-lane road. It used to be 2. We spent a ton of money a couple 20 years ago, whenever 15 or 20 years ago. We expanded it to 4 because the 2 was insufficient. Now we're going back to 2 with a turn lane. So it's a 3. It'll be 3 lanes. 1 is a turn lane. You cannot drive through. It's just for people that are turning. Hey, Vaughn, aloha. Yeah, still nothing to walk to. Hey, Richard. I understand Central Pacific Bank is bailing. They're not renewing their lease there, so they're going to be moving out. So again, Hilda, how you going backwards? I think so, and we're gonna, and the feds gave 15 million or 17 million, but we have a $2 million commitment. But that if the price goes up, which it will, there's no government project that stays on budget. It's just the way it is. The costs go up. We got to foot the bill. The feds ain't kicking in any more money. So we're stuck with that. So anyway, It is what it is. Yeah, Dal, I get the mad face too. But just remember, we're going to have 2 lanes with a turning lane. Some people believe it's going to work. I don't. I didn't support it. I was the only council member that said no, and it got built. So anyway, back to today. Federal judge finds state agency violated the Clean Water Act. Now, this is serious stuff, and it just came out. This is serious stuff because the ADC controls all of that agricultural land on the west side. They got some up by homesteads. They got some up by Kapaya, but they are the ones that control and manage the agricultural lands for our local farmers and ag businesses. Well, the federal court ruled just either it was today or yesterday. It just came out today. I just saw the release today. Hey, Michelle. Sorry, I keep going back and looking at the text. And Kalena Park basketball court is facing the wrong way. Basketball keeps hitting people's cars. Ouch, 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 ouch. Anyway, the court found that the ADC, the Agribusiness Development Corporation, which is the state organization, violated the Federal Clean Water Act on Kauai's west side by discharging millions of gallons of water contaminated with pesticides, sediment, and heavy metals along Barking Sands and MacArthur beaches without a permit. The ADC needs to obtain a National Pollutant Discharge Elimination System permit, an NPDES, or stop discharging materials through a plantation arrow ditch system it operates on the Mana Plain for the current tenants, which includes the agribusinesses, industrial operations out there, the shrimp farm, the seed companies, and all of that. The Earth Justice Attorney said they are not exempt from the Clean Water Act. In order to comply with the Clean Water Act, they need to obtain a permit or stop discharging altogether. And until they do either of those 2 things, they're going to be in violation of the Clean Water Act every single day. The problem with this is the 2 choices. Number 1, they got to apply for the permit. My concern is that the federal government, EPA, whoever in the state Clean Water branch is going to start fining this entity on a daily basis. The other thing is if you shut off the irrigation ditches, if they don't have a permit, then a lot of those businesses will suffer. So this is serious stuff. And I know a lot of people are celebrating this, but the bottom line is that, the state has failed the people of Hawaii. And in this case, the people of the west side, because we did not follow the rules. Hey, Larry, Renee, thank you for joining us. Vaughn Ramos, Marlene Morris, Paul Togioka, Renee Kawakami. Aloha, you guys. Thank you guys so much. Thank you guys so much. So now we're in violation every day. They try to talk to ADC, didn't get a comment, and I'll be following up on this, but it's some serious stuff. And people got to understand, whether you're a county organization, a state organization, the permits, you got to get the permits. You got to follow the law. And this is, hey, Auntie Gwen, how are you? How you doing? Kehao, aloha, how you guys? So yeah, this is something that's going to be in the news. You're going to hear about it probably a lot more, as the court just came out with this ruling. So we gotta pay attention, people. We gotta pay attention and make sure that we we hold our leaders accountable. Okay, thank you. Hi Renee. This one I'm gonna spend some time on because it's quite disturbing, and I know I saw a couple of people on here that's gonna hopefully chime in as well. I really wish we could chat with each other and not text, but it is what it is. DHHL and the governor-appointed commission authorized 147 acres of Hawaiian homelands on Oahu to a Canadian business. Now, I know, hey, Auntie Millie, thanks for coming back. Michael Hopkins, Clayton, Summer, aloha. Clayton, thanks for coming back on again. I know that many of us know, yeah, I see the angry faces on my screen. Many of you know someone, or you may be a native Hawaiian that is on the list. You may be waiting. You know someone, you have a relative, a grandma, grandpa that's been on the list. You probably know someone that passed away while on the list. We all know people here that are suffering. Hey, Mason, aloha, brother. Thank you for joining us. Perfect timing, Mason, perfect timing. We all know people that are on the list. We all know people that have not gotten the call. We all drive past Hawaiian homelands on a daily basis, wondering, why aren't they building homes? If you go down Anahola, there's a whole parcel that's already infrastructure's in place. No construction going on, and it is quite disturbing for me. And I'm not Hawaiian, not at all, 100% Portuguese. But it's quite disturbing when I read about this, and I find out that DHHL and this commission authorized 147 acres of Hawaiian homelands. This is on Oahu. This is not on Kauai. Hey, Deb, how you doing, Deb? This is on Oahu, but it doesn't matter where. Yeah, it's the principle. It's the practice. Anyway, so what they did, they took 147 acres of Hawaiian homelands on Oahu, and they turned it over to a non-Hawaiian Canadian business at $1,300 an acre per year to generate profits and to deliver renewable energy to Hawaiian Electric. So they took 147 acres of Hawaiian homelands, negotiated a deal with this company called, I think it was Interjex. So hang on real quick, I have it all down here. Interjex, and they lease 147 acres at $1,360 an acre. Comes out to about 200 grand a year. And these people are going to be developing these lands and apparently delivering renewable energy. I'm assuming it's going to be a solar farm. I don't know. Hey, Lona. And turning over those renewable energy product to Hawaiian Electric. And they will be allowed to generate profits on Hawaiian homeland lands. And this is a Canadian company. A Canadian company with no ties whatsoever to Hawaii. Same thing they did on Kauai, the solar farm. Very wrong. Hey, Jesse, aloha. DHHL can't even make one house a year with the rent. Absolutely. So now the Hawaiian Homes Commissioners, it had to go to a vote, and six out of 6 votes, 5 votes supported this. Maui's commissioner, Randy Awo, Kauai's commissioner, Dennis Nevis, interim chair, Bill Isla, and the Big Island's rep, David Kaapu, and Molokai's rep, Zachary Helm, all voted to support this transaction. It supports a transaction. HECO's a for-profit organization where KIUC is obviously a co-op. I think you're referring to the last comment. Only Oahu's commissioner, Patty Kahomoku Teruya, voted no. Now, she's from Honolulu. That's their lands for their people. And when they power with the land and the units owed and rusted, they're going to bail out, go back where they came from, and leave us with the Opala, the mess. Yeah, Fern, Lisa, aloha, you guys. So only Oahu voted no. Now, the problem is, kamoe ali'i kolo. Aloha, you guys. Aloha. Thank you, guys. So the Sovereign Council of Hawaiian Homestead Association, SCHHA, which I believe Robin Danner is the president, and on this session, and I'm going to quote what she said. She said, for 60 years, well, they're calling for a federal investigation, and I support that 100%. I support that 100%. This is wrong. This is just wrong. Canada, why are we leasing our Hawaiian homelands to a Canadian company when we have viable, thriving local Hawaiian companies, local Hawaiian businesses going on right now, right there in Anahola and other places of this island and the rest of the state? Why would we go to Canada and negotiate a deal? Hey, Gayleen, Patricia, Kathy. So the SCHHA president says, for 60 years, the state of Hawaii has doomed Native Hawaiians to die on the wait list, to struggle economically, and drive by our lands that are given to non-Hawaiians to prosper. Unquote. That's quoted. The vice president of SCHHA, and this to me says it best. Quote, it is criminal to watch the state of Hawaii mismanage what should be a land trust where thousands of native Hawaiians are prospering, operating businesses, farming their land, running cattle, and yes, owning and operating solar farms themselves or ourselves. These lands are not for Hawaiian Electric. They're not for Interjex, and they're not for DHHL to collect lease rents. The law is not complicated. Give native Hawaiians their land, unquote. Hey, Millicent, I think that says it best. Those lands weren't meant to go to Canada. They weren't meant to go to anywhere else but to Hawaiians for homes. Hawaiian homelands. Now, I feel so ineffective because there's not much we can do but support the cause, support the call for a federal investigation. That's all we can do. Hi, Millicent. Most of us are not in a position of any kind of authority or any kind of leadership. But we got to stand behind those that are fighting for the right reasons. Our legislature got to get involved. It's obvious that the governor supported this, but we got to get behind our leaders, the ones that choose to represent our needs and what we deserve. Please write to Senator Schatz, Mel, please. I'll write a letter to Eugene. Not a big fan, but I'll write a letter. I think it's going to take a movement. It's going to take, I'm not sure. It sounds like it's a done deal, but I think it needs to be investigated. I think they need to understand and go back and look, how did this all, where did it start? Well, how does this work? Does somebody from Hawaiian Homelands call their friends in Canada and say, hey, I can squeeze out 147 acres? I read the thread on Facebook today, and I can't remember the gentleman's name. Robin, maybe you can help me. It was going back and forth with you and Wesley Chow, and he basically said, yeah, it's just too bad the Hawaiian businesses, couldn't get this deal. What the hell kind of response is that? It's too bad. No, you make it available to the Hawaiian businesses. You make it available and affordable, whatever, to the Hawaiian companies. Department of Howley Homelands, Ed McDowell, you are too much. Yeah, Craig, that's the one. Craig, give me a governor that will not use DHHL as a state's cash cow. Absolutely, Nathan. Bingo, another text of the day. Watase, that's the Craig Watase. Political corruption. It was Craig Watase. Yeah, Craig. Now he's coming out and saying, oh, it's just too bad. Yeah, I agree with you. But where are the Hawaiian companies? What the hell? You come drive down Kauai, go Hanahola, go around this island and see how many native Hawaiian companies are actually thriving, are doing well. And given 147 acres, they could do a hell of a lot more. So it's frustrating. Hey, Darren and Lisa, thank you. It's so, the upsetting thing is that it's the Hawaiians that is screwing the Hawaiian people. The fact of the matter is they have these native Hawaiians that are sitting in positions that are easily led by the governor or whoever the hell is running this ship. That's the problem. I just saw a post today from a friend of mine living in Texas, and he said, he can remember once when Congress used to work together. And I replied and I said, the bottom line is this: it is impossible until we, the people, wake up and vote out the players that are choosing to operate that way. Ke ala na ona iopa. Whoo! The Oahu, the Hawaiian trucking and construction companies rock. Absolutely. And that's the problem. There are companies out there. But if we're not informing and helping our native Hawaiian businesses and companies get these juice, these opportunities that they're giving to Canadians, how the hell are we supposed to get ahead? How is our native Hawaiian supposed to get ahead? Why aren't we building homes on those lands? That's what bothers me. We talk about homeless. You drive, you see all these homeless Hawaiian people, and yet where the hell was Hawaiian homes? Where are they? Why aren't they building those homes out there in Anahola? Why aren't they building those homes everywhere? Mel, please, Mel, also write to Senator Kochi to write to Shas to ask for federal regulations. Well, the bottom line is this video, you got to share them all over so people see this video and they can read the comments. Hey, Pilani, you know, because a lot of people don't know what's going on. A lot of our neighbors, a lot of our people on Kauai and Honolulu and the rest of the islands don't know what's going on. So within our circle of influence, within our email list and our Facebook friends, but if we're not sharing what's happening, then people just don't know. And you know, me, I'm always really, I have a problem when, because I don't care if it's $1 or $1 million. If the practice is wrong, if we're setting a precedent such as this one, where we're going to start writing out leases to Canadians, and where we're going to go next. And I really don't care. I love Canada. I love Canadians, but they got no business on Hawaiian homelands. Absolutely zero business on Hawaiian homelands. Plain and simple. You want to go in the free market and go bid on lands and go get commercial land. Cannot really do much about that. But Hawaiian homelands, and for this commission to support that, is troubling. And that is why, once you set this precedent, again, the lure of money, hey, they're going to generate revenue for Hawaiian homelands, and we're going to be able to benefit the beneficiaries. No. You give those lands to the Native Hawaiians, let them prosper, and then the beneficiaries prosper. That's how this works. Craig Watasi purchased an affordable housing building from HHFDC, but sale was not advertised to anyone. And once he bought it, he raised the kupuna rent $400 a month more. Marlene, send me that info via email or by message. That's the kinds of things I need to know. Hey, Pops, welcome back. Hey, Abby. Those are the kinds of things I need to know. But I need to know the facts, the details, so I can develop. You know, I am an investigator by trade. I love investigating, but I gotta really get the information, the project, the address. Hey, Kule, Jeannie and Chris, Pat, thank you guys. I really got to get the information that we can pursue. But that's the kinds of information that I would love to get in a packet going over to Senator Schatz or Senator Kochi or President Trump or whoever we got to send it to get some action on this. Because this, again, if this is going to be the norm, what's going to be next? What, 500 acres, 1,000 acres? Because if money is driving the ship, then the Hawaiians will lose out. The Native Hawaiians will lose out. Smiley Lay, Charlotte, thank you guys. DM me your email address. I'll just tell it to you. It's Mel Rapozo, no periods, no capitals. It's melrapozo@gmail.com. Here, hang on. I love it. Mel Rapozo. Oops. Boom, right there in the chat box. melrapozo@gmail.com. Any kind of tips, any kind of tip. We've been talking about a lot of stuff in the last couple of months that I really would love to pursue, and I just haven't really received any of the factual information that we talk about here. Just take a few minutes, send it over to me, and we'll definitely pursue it. And this is kind of not on my script today, but we were talking about the Humane Society. I have not received any information, although I hear a lot of complaints. I read them on Facebook, but I really got to get the specifics so we can pursue. Because I tell you, it's frustrating. Sorry for the perspiration, but it's hot. And you can see my face is red because I was golfing today. So anyway, we got to get behind. We got to get our local leaders. We got to get our council members, our mayor. We got to get them to do resolutions that we can send up to the state. We got to get the governor. I mean, it's tough because he's part of this deal. But we got to let him know. We got to let him know that we are watching and we don't approve of this. And as we look at candidates running for governor the next election, running for state house and senate, you get the commitment and find out what is your position. Hey, Dale, right now, if I was, every single one of you should be sending an email over to our Kauai delegation. In fact, send it to every legislator and senator at the state level and ask them, what is your position on what just happened with the DHHL and the Canadian company Interjex? I want to know what your position is. Because if you support this kind of activity because of the money, you got to understand, take a look back at recent history. And I'm talking recent history the last couple of years. When you're looking at general excise tax, TAT tax, everything is about the money. Everything is about the money to raise more money. for this state. Rather than look at efficiency, rather than looking at finding ways to reduce the size of government and actually make a more efficient government. No, we just generate more money. You know, we're like the spoiled kid who nags and just keeps getting what they want because it's so simple for them to raise money rather than be constructive and figure out ways to reduce spending. No, it's just spend, spend, spend. And we run out of money, we just bang a tax. And let's hit the tourists because then the locals not going to get mad and they're going to vote for us again. But at some point, that well is going to dry up, and we're there. We are there. So what's going to be next? It's going to be you and I. That's when you're going to start seeing our income tax, our property taxes get raised. So, hey, brother Mason, thank you. Chime in if you want, man. Chime in if you want. This is an open forum, and I take criticism very well. So you're not going to hurt my feelings if you disagree with me. This is my opinion. This is how I feel. This is, you know, this is my platform to share with you guys what's on my mind and on my heart and what I think we should do to move forward. Hawaiian Homes doesn't need money. They need to give us our land. We will prosper, I promise. I agree. I think I don't think I know that is the solution. Give the land to the native Hawaiians and let them prosper. How do you think these guys on Oahu are going to feel, these native Hawaiians who's on the list or grandma's on the list, or grandma may have passed away waiting on the list, and they're going to be driving past this company making money on their land? I don't know. It's really frustrating. It's an understatement. Reduce government cut costs. That's common sense. We all do that. If our expenses exceed our revenue, then we should cut back. Government should do the same. Oh man, what a concept! You know, what a concept. You know, it's just amazing. And it takes strong leadership to do that at all levels, and from Congress on down, and that's where we got to really, you got to tighten the belt, because it's very easy to raise taxes, very easy to raise taxes. Just it's a signature of a pen, it's done, and you know, elections come every 2 or 4 years. You know, people hope that the taxpayers forget, but that's why these broadcasts, these Facebook lives, the Facebook posts and the sharing of information is so vital. My mother is in her 70s and still waiting. Man, so sorry to hear that, Thomas. And I know that happens to so much people, so many people, and it's so sad. You know, it really is sad. So we all got our homework assignment. If Hawaiian Homelands is a public entity, you can get all the information regarding this transaction through a Freedom of Information Act request. Yeah, and that's a good advice. Thank you, Bethany. I think we're going to have to move forward. I think the SCHHA, which was the Sovereign Council of Hawaiian Homestead Associations, I think they are pursuing a federal investigation. That's probably where this belongs, because, you know, I think it'll be tough. You're right. DHHL is supposed to do exactly that, and that's all. Give the land to the Hawaiians. Yeah. Pono, you are so right. How hard is that, right? I mean, how hard is that? And you have the plot, you have the infrastructure, you have the utilities, everything is ready. How hard is it to get Native Hawaiians into homes? I can tell you that this deal with the Canadians didn't happen overnight. It took a lot of energy, took a lot of time, staff time. It took a lot of legal work. All of that energies should be applied to getting Hawaiians in homes. That's just my position. So anyway, you know, you cannot help but feel for the Native Hawaiians. You cannot help but feel for the those families that have been on lists forever. And I said earlier, many of them have passed away. My grandparents both passed away waiting. I mean, Francine, that, you know, that makes me just wanna cry. I'm telling you, because that's so unnecessary. So unnecessary. Well, anyway, let's move on. I know, again, your homework assignment is to write letters to your local politicians. I'm talking about your council members and your mayor, your state, your senator, Kochi, and your 3 representatives at the legislature, and our representative at Congress. that's your homework assignment. I mean, if you guys are serious about making change, you don't need to be in elected office to make change. But you gotta make sure the pressure is on the decision makers, and that they know that you're watching. That's hey, Kale, mahalo again for helping up at the 4th of July tent and the hamburgers, hot dogs. You guys are awesome, man. You guys are awesome. It'll never change, Larry says. It'll never change as long as we have this one political party dominating our state legislature. Even a Republican governor won't change things unless our representation in the legislature changes too. You know, I mean, it's amazing how, again, you gotta know your legislators. You gotta know where they stand on the positions that are important to you. And the only way you're gonna find out is by talking to them, asking them the straight up questions. Don't wait for elections and when they send out brochures and postcards and talk speeches at 3 minutes at a forum. No, ask them straight up on the issues that are important to you, such as this one. Ask them straight up and find out where they stand. That's the only way. And if you're not happy, I can tell you, some Congress people ain't gonna get my vote that represent us. They won't, because of their childish behavior. Some of the state legislators, you know, I mean, we're districted, so it's not that you get to vote for all of them, but I'm not satisfied with some of our representation that we've received here on Kauai. I'm not. And if you're not, then don't vote for them. Find someone else. Encourage others to run. Okay, so, but it's too late now, and believe me, those crooks have more than that going on, much behind closed doors. Yeah, I remember talking to you at the farm fair one year, and you gave me straight up answers, Mel. Yeah, yeah, that's the blessing and the curse. Sorry, I jumped my notes. You know, that's a blessing and a curse. You know, I mean, if for the people that agree with me, yeah, I'm awesome. For those that don't, they think I'm just too brash, too loud. But yeah, you know, you'll never have to guess what side of an issue I sit. That's just how I was raised. That's just how I am, and that's just who I am. You see how red I stay? I'm so sunburned. Jeez. They lost their way helping our families many, many years ago. There was no such thing as having to prove financial readiness when your name came up. You were awarded. They built a home. There was revolving loans, and our families paid monthly, I'm assuming, to the department. My mom was awarded in 1971. She paid $52 a month. They forgot their priorities. Hey, Glenn. Bingo, Sherry. Bingo. Again, it's never a money problem. It's a priority problem. If your goal, if you're the governor, if you're a senator, if you're the House of Representatives, if your goal is to get Native Hawaiians in homes on Hawaiian homelands, it would be done. It would be done. I don't think anyone will dispute that, except maybe the legislators. But all of us. All of us. I mean, the governor vetoed 18 bills, and some of those bills we're going to go through them. We may go a little longer today. I hope you guys don't mind. For those of you that gotta dig, that's fine. But I just because some of the things that we see what we spend our time on when we have so many issues going on in this state. Anyway, thank you guys. Thank you guys for bearing with me. Thank you guys for engaging in the discussion. I love it when you guys text and share. That's what this is about. That is why I will not give up my Facebook Live. Regardless of what the heck I decide to do, this live will continue because I think it's important. Like I said, you don't have to be an elected person to benefit the community. And this is what this whole platform is. And it's not designed for me to tell you. It's both ways here. So please, I appreciate you guys sending the text back. And I apologize too, because when I'm on this computer, sometimes it only goes, I can only scroll so far back. So if I miss any of your comments, I apologize. I'm trying the best I can. Lonnie and Aaron, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe there were more Hawaiian homes built under Governor Lingo than any other or in a long period of time. Someone else can probably answer that, Lonnie or Aaron. I don't know. I don't know the numbers. All I know is that there hasn't been much activity for many years. And it's a shame. It's a shame. Your Facebook Live is great. old school in modern media. Yeah, I know, man. This is awesome. I love it. I love it. Our state government is bordering on communism. Not brash, not outspoken, just real. Thanks, Lisa. That's kind of how I like to be portrayed, as just being real. And you know, I have a right to change my mind. If I am given information that makes me realize that I may be on the wrong track, I've been the first to say I misunderstood, and change position is not a problem. I'm just real. You're the only one who really listens and care about. Oh, thank you, sweetie. Troy, oh man, I'm glad you're on. Troy, Stacy, Dawn, thank you guys. All right, let's move on, and if I'll be watching. So if you guys get any questions or comments about DHH, I'll try to address them as I can. Sewage sludge spill, Lily wastewater treatment plant, 90,000 gallons overflowed today. Nothing went to the ocean or into the streams, thank goodness. And they're calling it a pump malfunction. So understand things break. But recently you guys got I don't know if you guys subscribe to the county press releases, but we had the trash pickup was going to be, because of some equipment problems, trash pickup in certain areas were going to be delayed. We've had the landfill. Beatles, you know this. Mel, run for governor. Oh my God. Oh, Larry, no. That's part of Pilani, Mike, Kikai, empty lots. No one can qualify for those crazy home prices. Yeah, shame. County executive session leaker. Still don't know. I don't know. I haven't been. Just Alan Paracini. He might know. He was the leaky. He might know. Yeah, and then we had some of the trash facilities, the landfill, and some transfer stations. Equipment malfunction. Sorry, we're going to be closed, or we're going to be delayed. And the reason I bring that up is because yes, I understand that things break, but when they break so often, I mean, it's very clear that we have some infrastructure issues, that we're way behind on maintenance. We don't have maintenance plan. We don't have a very good quality control plan or corrosion. It's in the military, everything had checklists. The pen, you had to make sure your pen worked before you could use them. Your vehicle, I don't care if you just used it this morning, you signed it back in motor pool, when you go back pick it up, you run through the checks one more time. That's not existent. And the reason I brought that up was because, and I talked about this at the last Facebook Live, was that they are aggressively seeking, and when I say I'm talking about the county, the administration, and the Charter Review Commission, aggressively seeking to remove the requirement for a county engineer to be a licensed engineer. And you'll hear reasons why. Well, Mel, it's hard. We cannot find licensed engineers willing to come to the county. We're actively searching. No, they're on. It's always on. They're always recruiting, but there's no active recruitment. They're not sending and putting notices out in the engineering publications, or on Craigslist, or on any of these Indeed or other work sites. When you aggressively to recruit, and I know this because we've done it for the auditor's position, you find you find a lot of applicants, and I know for a fact that there's I know at least one qualified applicant in a county that is interested, or was anyway. I don't know about now, but at one point he was, but because of a personality conflict with another member of the administration, it doesn't happen. So that's the frustration. So now, rather than go out and seek qualified individuals, no, we're going to reduce the standard. And when we are talking about an infrastructure that is so bad, when we're talking about pumps that are breaking, we're talking about the services to the public being reduced. We're not cutting it. And you cannot tell me that we don't need a licensed engineer to run the county's largest department at Public Works. So he can't be titled engineer if he's a licensed engineer. Old boy network, pay to play tactic, just another method to get someone in. Yeah, I mean, that's what it is, Sherry. That's another one. I'm going to ask for your guys' help. We're going to need to send letters and say, don't let this happen. And if the Charter Commission puts it on the ballot, trust me, we'll go on a full court press to let the public know why that is not a good thing. So again, we're just gonna All right, Waimea swimming pool closed. Somebody go take a crap in the pool. These vandals go up, climb the fence at night, take a dump in the pool. They should be punished. Why we get people like that on the island? Roll in. Shameful, shameful, and just so disgusting. Um, I'm just curious to see how long it'll take to get that pool back. Hey, Chris, aloha. Thanks for joining. How long it'll take to get that pool back, back in business? At the hotel when someone takes a dump, and it happens, it's a long process. You got to drain the pool. You got to disinfect and refill the pool. So we'll see how long that'll be. I don't know. There was nothing in the press release that said how long it was going to be closed. Another big issue going to be this one's going to get ugly. It's a 30-meter telescope. Governor Ige announced today that they're going to start construction on Monday, next week Monday. This one is going to get ugly, and I already know. I've heard. Thank you, Lonnie and Aaron. You definitely need a licensed engineer. Yeah, I mean. Oh, the pool is up. Thank you, Wendy. Good, good. Thank you so much. Reopened today. Awesome, awesome. But the hassles of you got to go through when someone takes a dump in a pool. Unbelievable. But yeah, so I've been told that the opponents to the telescope are going to be up there, and it's not going to be pleasant. So keep an eye on that. Monday they're going to start. They're going to start doing that on Monday. We're going to go a little longer because we had the technical difficulty in front. I did want to get through some of these things. Basketball fans, if you guys want to watch the Los Angeles Clippers and the Houston Rockets, they'll be playing at UH Stan Sheriff in October. So I just wanted to plug that in. It's always cool to watch a professional, whether it's football, basketball, volleyball, whatever. So October 4th, Houston Rockets against the Clippers, LA Clippers, Stan Sheriff Center. Okay, I did want to get you some of the bills that the governor vetoed. Hey, Pule and Leona, thank you for joining us. HB 290, it would have authorized out-of-state patients from transporting marijuana between islands. Governor, I mean, I agree with the governor on that. I mean, why would you allow, we're focusing this whole thing now. We have medical marijuana. We're going to put up dispensaries, and we know this, and anyone can challenge me. Hey, Sophia, Izzy, and Leona. Thank you, guys. Thank you. It's not going to get rid of the black market. We're seeing the reports coming back from the states that have legal marijuana and medical marijuana. It's not taking care of the black market, okay? So we don't need this. If we're going to have medical marijuana, you want to fly to Kauai, don't be transporting that garbage. You come over Kauai and you buy them from Kauai. Support the local economy. So I have to support and agree with the governor. Now, HB 323 would have allowed pre-1968 military vehicles to operate on public highways. And I bring this up because, why is that even of importance? How long did it take us to pass this or get this bill? He's going to veto it because it would violate federal safety standards because of the emissions. So if we allow these old military vehicles, you got some guys, they got the old Jeeps or the Humvee, I'm talking pre-68. These are antiques. They're classic cars. And they want to get it to the car show. So this bill would have allowed them to register those cars as in a special class and at least get them to transport them to events. So he vetoed that. So they're going to have to put them on a trailer. HB 407 would have required Board of Education approval prior to the termination of the Department of Education Complex Area Superintendent. Prior to the termination of the DOE Complex Area Superintendent. So yeah, he vetoed that. We'll see if the legislature is going to have enough votes to override the veto. HB 629, this one gets me, and I'm glad he vetoed this. Would have created a formal medical release program to allow inmates with terminal or debilitating diseases or illness to be released from prison prior to the end of their sentence. And the only reason I agree with the governor on the veto, not that I don't agree with the text and the context. I definitely believe that if you have an inmate, you have a prisoner that's suffering from a terminal illness or a debilitating illness and he really cannot function or she cannot function, then I absolutely believe that there should be a process where you go before the court and you request for an early out. That process, that's there today. But this would have created a whole new program, which means more money, No, we don't need no more people. We don't need no more departments. We don't need more commissions. We just need more work to be done. Angel, aloha, Andre, Lisa, Jan, Nelson, Penny, thank you guys for coming on. We're running a little late today. I just wanted to cover some of these bills that Ige vetoed. 748 would have prohibited civil asset forfeiture unless there is a felony conviction. It would also it would have also moved the recovered funds to the general fund instead of the law enforcement agencies as they are now. Again, the legislature's attempt to take more money. I believe in the asset forfeiture fund. I know this is a very controversial issue. Hey, Nicole and David. But when you go after a drug dealer, when you go after a criminal that utilized crime to buy his boats and his cars and his motorcycles and his homes, he stole you then I believe in civilly that you should go in civil court and go ask for that and put those monies back in law enforcement. But this bill would have put that money back into the general fund for the legislature. How dare they? So anyway, he vetoed that one. There's SB 92 would have allowed surviving immediate family members of murder or manslaughter to receive copies of the closing police report at the conclusion of the case. That right already exists. Governor Ige says, we don't need to duplicate that. It's already there. And the only problem he's saying with this bill, if it passes, it leaves out all the other cases. What's the difference? I mean, murder. What about sex assault? Why wouldn't a family member have the right to a sex assault complaint as they would with a murder or manslaughter? So his rationale was, why focus only on two cases or two classes of cases and not the rest? So I understand his point. SB 1292 would require hosting platforms that collect fees for booking services, Airbnb and all of those guys, to register as collection agents, collect GET and TT from operators. Again, there's a lot of controversy on this because when you start allowing these companies to collect taxes from illegal operations, we got issues. So he vetoed that. Again, this was another way of collecting more money for the state. And hey, Michelle, thank you. SB 1353 would have established hemp licensing programs and removing criminal regulation from the cultivation, possession, and sale of hemp. Again, the only difference between hemp and marijuana, hemp doesn't have THC or not supposed to have THC. And the governors, Dagmar and Daniel Hamada, the only difference, again, the THC, without regulating the hemp, if you're just gonna, and again, this was gonna create a new licensing program and taking out criminal regulation. But without the regulation, how are you going to determine if hemp is in fact THC free? How are you gonna, without regulation, how would you know if the hemp is not marijuana? So anyway, I think a lot of questions the governor had, and that's why he vetoed this. Hey, Jeff and Wanda. SB 1405 would require school teachers and educators to confiscate electronic smoking devices from students, raise fines from $10 to $100. Again, raising money. And, one of the problems was that